So today we're going to be doing 5th grade, Module 4, Lesson 6, where we're looking at how fractions can be related to sets. Also, we call them arrays, or really we're thinking about them as whole numbers. So we're thinking about fractions like how 1/3 of 12, what that would be if I wanted to find 1/3 of 12. I'm taking a fraction and I'm looking at how I can use an array or a set to help me figure out this answer. So I'm going to start by looking at that problem, 1/3 of 12. And you're already given an array, right? You're given your 12 pieces here. And these 12 pieces are drawn out, and they're kind of already drawn out, which would make sense mathematically, kind of by groups of 4. And the reason they're in groups of 4 is because 12 can be easily divided by 3 and it gives you 4. So if I look at what's 1/3 of 12, if I think about this 12 that it's already broken up into thirds, it's broken up into 3 pieces, 1/3 of 12 is one of these groups. So 1/3 of 12 is going to be 4. 2/3 of 12, I can think about then, if I already know that 1/3 of 12 is 4, 2/3 of 12 should be 8, which means 3/3 of 12 should be 12. And you can keep this going. If I do 4/3 of 12, because you can have a bigger number, I would then have it be 16, because each one of my thirds is equal to 4. So as I get bigger and bigger, I'm just adding another 4. And you can look at that visually too here. 1/3 of 12 is 4, and you can see here my 4 pieces. 2/3 of 12 is 8, because it's 2 of these pieces. And 3/3 of 12 is the whole array. Now, for question number 2, we're going to draw our own array. So it says draw a set, which is we also are calling an array, to show our thinking. How do I find 2/3 of 18? So 2/3 of 18. I know 18 is going to be my whole. And because I'm talking about thirds, I want to draw them in 3 groups. So 1, 2, 3. Those are my 3 groups, and I'm going to draw 18 dots. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So there are my 3 groups. Those are my thirds. So here's 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. This is my 1/3. Here's my 2nd third. Here's my 3rd third. So if I'm trying to find 2/3 of 18, what I did is I'm going to take 18 and first divide it by 3 to make my 3 groups. And when I do 18 divided by 3, I'm going to get 6, which makes sense, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are my 6. So 1/3 of 18 would be 6. So to find 2/3 of 18, I'm going to do my 1/3, which is 6, times 2. So I get 12. I can also count. I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I get 12. So 2/3 of 18 is 12. Let's keep practicing this. Sarah just turned 18 years old. So she turned 18. She spent 4 nights of her life living in Rochester, New York. How many years did Sarah live in Rochester? So Sarah has lived 18 years, and she's lived 4 nights of it in Rochester, and they want to know what that fraction is equal to. So I'm trying to find 4 nights of 18. Well, I'm going to do it just like I did before. I'm going to draw it out, and I'm going to draw it in 9 groups, because 9 is my denominator here. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So there are my ninths. So I've got all of my ninths. And what I want to do is I want to know what 4 of them equals to. because I'm trying to find 4/9. So I can visually count that, or I can mathematically, what I can do and what I've done is I started with 18 and I first divided it by 9 because I split it into 9 groups. Then once I do that and I get 2, which represents my 2 that are in each group, I know there are 2 in each group. 2 is 1/9. So then to find 4/9, what I do is I do 2 times 4. So I'm going to get 8. So if we look at that visually, I have 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups. So those are my 8 that equals 4/9. And in this case, it's 8 years is how many years she lived in Rochester. So I'm able to find 4/9 of 18 by drawing out an array, but by also thinking about it mathematically. I did 18 divided by 9 to figure out what 1/9 is equal to, and then I times it by 4 because I'm dealing with 4/9. So I get 8 years. So we're able to look at how we can take a fraction of a whole and solve for what a fraction of a whole is equal to.